Welcome back, everyone, to Pontus Fathom Hobbies. This is Season 10, Episode 4 of Tainted Grail, Fall of Avalon. We are playing through Chapter 11, and our quest is to return to Kamelot and help with that situation. We've got Beor and Maggot currently in the Plagued Burrow. They just had an interesting last round, where they discovered that Lancelot had passed through here, and also that they are he had gone off to Kamelot, so this is a good sign. Also, we had learned about the original party, that including Yavin and Ephir, the Forge Master from Connect. They had been here 3 weeks ago. And so we're basically following in the trail of the first party that went out in search of Arthur. We have also encountered in previous chapters that Arthur had gone off to the Mist, and he had... and we have collected not only Excalibur and the Grail, but also the Shapeshifter's tools and a crude menhir, so that we can actually travel with menhir protection, even if there's not a menhir constructed. So speaking of the menhir, we are going to reduce him down by 1. And I'm going to place the next card in play, which will actually be Kamelot. So we are now, as you can see on the map, we've come from the Moon Ring all the way across, and now we're back at Kamelot. We're going to move our guys into Kamelot. I might go ahead and pay up a menhir for this to help us with the costs of maintaining our traveling menhir. Obviously, to get into this one, we're going to need to use our crude menhir. So the crude menhir allows us to travel. So you can see this menhir's influence stops here at the Plague Burrows. But by activating this, we have to just pay 1 magic each. And that will allow us to move forward. And let's... So we will read into the Kamelot encounter. But first, Pontus Fathom Hobbies is brought to you by the books that we produce. We've got a channel, Pontus Fathom Press, where we're putting out a number of podcasts. We've got those podcasts collected in a lecture series. You can go check out the bookstore link down below. The key one is Esoteric Dragon Mysteries, Decoding the Dragon Symbol and Myth in the Occult. We deep dive into the Dragon and the Grail, which touches on the Pendragons, Alchemy and the Dragon with Tolkien and George R.R. Martin, Tiamat and the Dragon, Saturn and the Dragon and the Cross, even the Dragon and the UFO mystery. We've also got our Catu Journals 6-volume set, Hermeticism of Hastur, Genealogy of Cthulhu. We've collected those as an omnibus edition. This is a must for any Lovecraft fan. Finally, we've got the Alchemy and Anthroposophy in the Dune Saga, a deep dive into Jungian alchemy and anthroposophical themes in Frank Herbert's classic work, and then Artificial Psychoanalysis of Desiring Machines. Go check out our bookstore in the link below. You can check out our Patreon, stay across all of our gameplay in A Song of Ice and Fire, our miniature painting, and our new miniature makeover series. And let's get back into the game. Thanks for watching. Okay, so let's continue our reading into Kamelot. We've returned here to Kamelot, looking for a way to fulfill our quest. Reading the original quest, it says, help Besieged Kamelot. Okay, so, and I believe this actually is now Plagued Kamelot. No, this actually is... So I'm looking at, there is a 195 Besieged Kamelot, but I don't think that we've actually activated that yet. So I think we'll go into the normal Kamelot first and then see what happens. Kamelot. So it says, if you have the Winds of Weirdness status, if we have the wind, I think we just got that. So the Winds of Weirdness status, remove this location card from the game and replace it with location 1. Oh, okay. So there it is right there. So we have Winds of Weirdness. And it says, if you have Winds of Weirdness status, remove card location and replace it with 195. So that's how it works. So Kamelot is Besieged. So you can see there's 2 versions. There's Kamelot and Besieged Kamelot, and they look somewhat different. The back art on this one is cool. It's just sort of like Kamelot. And now we're going to go to Besieged Kamelot. And we can read this 195 Besieged Kamelot. Besieged Camelot. It says, if you have part 7 of Left Behind, go to verse 10. Part 7 of Left Behind. Left Behind. We don't have part 7 of Left Behind. Okay, so let's read on. The castle stands as it always has, if worse for wear. However, the vast stretch of land between the cyclopean walls and the hovels of the borough is now filled with small encampments. Some people look like harmless settlers from faraway farmholds. Others are armed to the teeth, sticking to their own company and plotting in hushed voices. Is Kamelot under siege? Even if not, this may change any second now. If you have part 8 of Restoring the Order. We do not have part 8 of Restoring the Order. Go to verse 6. Otherwise, go to verse 4. The gate is barred shut at Morgaine's orders, and for the first time in recorded history, Kamelot has turned its back on small folk. The round table was too weak and disorganized to object. Now only those who can pay their way can enter. So we can offer a lavish bribe. We can offer supplies. We can use our influence to obtain entry. Yeah, so let's use our influence because, hey, we've got all this influence. And, let's do that. So we're going to use our influence to obtain entry. We're not going to pay a bribe. We're going to get our 6 influence from our reputation. And we're going to pay that. And it says, go to verse 2. What do you want now? See Lancelot. Only if you don't have part 1 of Lost and Fallen. Lost and Fallen. We do not have part 1 of Lost and Fallen. As you can see here, Lost and Fallen, don't have it. So let's go right to see Lancelot. We'll go to verse 11. So verse 11, if you have part 6 of Final Confrontation, go to verse 20. Otherwise, read on. Final Confrontation. Final Confrontation. We do not have part 6 of Final Confrontation. So here we go. Otherwise, read on. Lancelot seems less troubled than last time. The closeness. So we had met with Lancelot, I want to say like maybe in chapter 6 or something like that. Last time we came here, we met with Lancelot. That was long ago. Now we're actually on like day 80, I think. Lancelot seems less troubled than last time. The closeness of the danger pushed him to find some hidden source of inner strength. You're from Connacht, yes, he says? I have a delicate matter to settle there. As we prepared Kamelot for the long siege of weirdness, some of our shipments of food and wares were raided near your hometown. I hear many desperate folk there turned to banality. To banditry. They turned to banditry. This will not stand. Investigate the matter, make an example of the perpetrators, and return our stolen property. Both the Round Table and the people of Kamelot will be grateful. Your hands begin to sweat. The thought of prosecuting your hometown does not bring you joy, but in times like these you can no longer hold more than one loyalty. Gain part 6 of the Pathfinder status. Travel back to Connacht to kill those responsible for the raids. Go back to 2 and make another choice. So we've got a new task to go back to. So we've got, now our new task is go back, return to Connacht. So chapter 11. So now we got to go all the way back to Connacht. Return to Connacht and kill bandits. But meanwhile, we can take another path here in verse 2. So let's go back to verse 2. It says, let the people go to the island of the castle. Requires pass 13. Sneak into Morgaine's study. Rest of each prey free if you have the crest of the order. Do we have crest of the order? Crest of the order. If we have the... Oh, crest of the order, it's a secret card. I don't have crest of the order. What else can we do here? We saw Lancelot. I guess we can see Morgaine only if you don't have part 5 of Lost and Fallen status. Okay, so we'll go to verse 3 while we're here. It says, see Morgaine, go to verse 3. So if you have part 1 of the final confrontations, we don't have that. If any character in the game has secret card 78, go to verse 7. Do we have secret card 78? 78. Secret card 7. Oh, we have it. Secret card 78. We have Excalibur. Okay. Oh. Okay, so let's go to secret card 78. This is interesting. Go to verse 7. A hunched servant takes you to the empty throne room, asks you to wait, and disappears. A moment later, a familiar voice booms from the balcony. You thought I could forgive your affront, forgive what you did the last time I asked you for help. One does not defy Morgaine Le Fay, keeper of Kamelot and granddaughter of the goddess Morrigan. 24 crossbowmen appear on the balcony and emerge from side entrances. You realize you only have a moment before you die. If you have cherished belongings, go to verse 19. Do we have cherished belongings? Cherished belongings. No, otherwise, go to this. Okay, otherwise go to the Book of Secrets. So actually, we're going to confront Morgaine's troops. Resolve the Morgaine Blue encounter in verse 396. 396. If you end this encounter without winning or failing, exploration ends. Ignore the distrust secret card in the encounter, Morgaine. So we're going to stop the guards, make her see your point, come near her. Our reward is go to verse 336. Okay. So we're actually going to have a combat with Morgaine. We're just going to try to stop the guards. So let's go into combat mode. We got Beor. He has Excalibur here. So he's also going to gain right off the bat he's going to gain 1 right off the bat. So we're going to do this one. And that's going to give us, for each of these, we get an extra one of this. And then we'll have Maggot also. Maggot is also going to join here. He gets 2x those. We also get extra from so that's 2 and 2. So yeah, okay, so we're going to defeat the Morgaine here, and our reward is go to verse 336. Okay, so we've resolved the blue encounter with Morgaine. We're going to go to 336 and read the result. 336, it says, without her henchmen, Morgaine becomes an easy target. So we either kill her or let her live. Kill her or let her live. So we're gonna say, ask her why we should let her live. Morgaine breathes heavily. I have something you need, she says. If you spare me, I can tell you about yourself. You are something more than you realize. If you strike me down, this knowledge shall die after me. Well, sounds reasonable. Slay her or go to her explanation. If we slay her, it's kind of unreasonable, and we know that I feel like it's probably some kind of trap, right? But let's keep going. 73, 53. Okay, so we'll just be honorable. With a mysterious smile, Morgaine tells you a story of a group of travelers who 600 years ago followed Arthur into Tuathan and witnessed the creation of this malformed echo of Kamelot. And then there, something happened even Morgaine does not understand. The essence of these travelers became immortal and bound to Avalon. Since then, the travelers have returned each generation under different names and in different bodies. Morgaine claims that you are the next embodiment of these essences. Your souls are unlike any other. Although their origin and purpose remains a mystery. You realize Morgaine was not truthful when she promised you answers. In the end, she only gave you a sliver of knowledge and a barrel full of new questions. Still, honor demands you let her free now. Exploration ends. Okay, so I think we're going to wrap it up with that. We got a little extra intelligence out of Morgaine, and now I think we're on a quest back to Cunap to help Lancelot. So I will see you guys in round number 5. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.